Today on our 2004 Ford F-350 Super Duty, we're going to be installing the custom underbed installation kit for B&W Companion fifth wheel trailer hitches. Part number BW GN-RK1108-5W. Now let's go ahead and show you how the release handle works. To release the pin, you'll simply pull the handle out and rotate it forward. This is in the unlatched position. Now to re-latch it, simply slide it back towards the back of the truck, gently twist it, and release. Unlatched, latched. Now in order to install the ball in the gooseneck, you'll need to pull the handle out in the driver's side wheel well and put it into the locked open position. Then you'll take the ball and slide it into position. Once the ball's in position, go ahead and release the handle, and the pin will go through the ball, locking it into position. When not using the ball, you can go ahead and pull the handle to release it. You can then flip the ball over, putting the ball down through the gooseneck. Then you can go ahead and release the handle, locking the ball in the storage position. Now we've already gone ahead and removed the rear tires from the vehicle to give ourselves a little more working room. We've also gone ahead and lowered down the spare tire out of the way. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the bracket here that holds the emergency brake cable here on the driver's side. Once we get the nut removed, we'll go ahead and push the stud out, and we will be using some hardware supplied with the kit to reattach our emergency brake cable later in the install. Now we'll go ahead and go on the inside of the frame rail, and then we'll pull out the stud. We will not be reusing this. Now we'll go ahead and take our tape measure and measure from the rear edge of the bed up to the measurement per the instructions. You'll then go ahead and find the center point of the bed by measuring equal distance between the two sides. Now that we have our mark made in our bed, we'll go ahead and take our pilot bit and drill a hole down through the bed. Now that we have our pilot hole drilled, we'll go ahead and take our hole saw and drill our hole down through the bed. Now we're going to begin here by installing the rear cross piece. You'll notice how there's two notches taken out on this one, as these two notches will end up at the passenger side rear. There's also these oval holes drilled in it, and these will face forward when the bracket's actually flipped forward, so it'll look like this when it's in the frame. Now we'll go ahead and install it over here from the driver's side, sliding it across and then flipping it up into position. Now that we've got the cross member in place, we'll go ahead and rotate it up. Now you want to set the rear cross member about 4 inches back from the 4-inch hole we just drilled. Now the forward cross member, we want to make sure that the oval holes are facing towards the rear, so that the two sets of oval holes, one on the front cross member and the set on the rear, are facing each other. So again, we'll go ahead and start here on the driver's side and slide the cross member in position. Ultimately, it'll end up flipped up like this. Now, since we had to remove the emergency brake bracket, we need to go ahead and install here on our driver's side plate a 5/16 carriage bolt through this square hole. Do that from the rear side, and then we're going to install a nut to hold it in place for now. Next, we'll go ahead and take our clamp here. We'll need to work it around the frame so that it's sitting on there something about like this. Go ahead and slide it in. Now that we have our frame bracket in place, we'll go ahead and slide our side plate in. We'll then go ahead and stick a 1/2 inch lock washer, 1/2 inch hex nut on the stud of the frame clamp. We will just hand tighten all of these till we get everything assembled. Next we'll take our 1/2 inch bolt, feed it through the side plate, through our clamp. Then we'll put a lock washer and a hex nut on that. Again, we'll just kind of put everything loose until we get everything lined up. Next, we're going to go ahead and take this piece of pipe spacer, and we'll need to put it between the side plate and the frame of the vehicle. Now there's an oval hole behind this that we'll be lining up. So we'll go ahead and slide this up into position. We'll also be taking this 3/4 inch bolt going through the side plate, the pipe spacer, as well as the frame. Now with this in place, we'll go to the inside of the frame and add the rest of our hardware. We'll then install our 3/4 inch flat washer, .3/4 inch lock washer, and the 3/4 inch hex nut. Again, we'll just put all these hand tight for now. Now we'll begin here by tightening down the 6 bolts that attach the center section to each of the cross rails, 3 in the front and 3 in the back. Now that we have these 6 bolts tightened down, we'll go ahead and torque them to the manufacturer's specification. Next, we'll go ahead and tighten down the 3/4 inch bolts that hold the side plates to the frame. Once we've got each of them tightened down, we'll go ahead and torque them to the manufacturer's specification. Next, we'll go ahead and tighten down the bolt that attaches the frame clamp to the side plate here on the bottom. Once we tighten down each side, we'll then torque them to the manufacturer's specification. We'll go ahead and take our release handle now from the underside. We'll feed it through the little hole right here. Then we'll work it to the outside. Now you want to make sure that the handle is on the front side of the latch pin here, the center section. We'll then take our bolt. We'll go through the handle, then through the pin, and then we'll put our lock nut in place. Once that's done, we'll go ahead and tighten things down. Next, we're going to need to drill out the holes to put our safety U-bolts into place. We'll be using these 2 holes here, which line up with the lower portion of the corrugation of the bed. So this right here is the lowest portion, so we'll be using the 2 innermost holes closest to the round portion of the center section. We'll go ahead and put a pilot bit from the underside and then we'll go to the top side and drill back down with our 1/2-inch drill bit. We'll go ahead now from the top side and drill out our holes to a 1/2-inch drill bit. We'll go ahead and take our U-bolts, drop them into position, and then we'll go underneath and install our springs and nuts. Now that we're back underneath the vehicle, we'll go ahead and take our spring here, slide it over the end of the U-bolt. We'll then take our lock nut, thread it onto the threads of the U-bolt. Go ahead and put the other one on as well. Once that's on, we'll go ahead and tighten it down so that we have about a thread showing past the nut. We'll go ahead and repeat the same process over on the other U-bolt. Next, we'll go ahead and reinstall our rear wheels, as well as put our spare tire back up into position. And that'll do it for our installation of the B&W Custom Underbed Kit for Companion fifth wheel trailer hitches, part number BW GNRK 1108-5W on our 2004 Ford F-350 Super Duty.